Welcome back, everybody. It's Monday. It's the Knott's Olive Show, as Cheryl said her Siri told her the other day, right?
When my phone reads messages from you guys to me, it reads it as Knott's Olive Show instead of Not So Live Show.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have certain names I have to say the wrong way to get my phone to call the person. The only one I can do easy is, hey, Siri, call my wife, which it's probably going to do now if I don't tell it not to. That's the easiest one I do. Once upon a time, it was all I did. Now I'm so lazy and I'm so fucking into just never touching anything. Now I'm like, hey, Siri, fucking. I used to make fun of my daughter for saying, what's the temperature? And you can just look at the phone. Now I do it across the room. I say, hey, Siri, what's the temperature?
I do think there's something endearing about just entering Siri's world and allowing her to run it sometimes.
Dave, let's do a temperature check in the Great White North.
Cold and snowy.
You got a Fahrenheit and or Celsius for us?
Let's go with Celsius today, minus 8-ish, 10-ish, and around there.
Okay.
Going to be worse next week. Next week's going to be the minus 20s.
All right. Well, I'm sitting at 43, which feels like 36.
Okay.
That's like very cold Atlanta day. Cheryl, what is it like in the desert?
We're low 70s today. I know, right? I'm in short sleeves. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing out there. And I'm keeping an eye on Phoenix, right? Because this is going to be Phoenix. Just for all of you to know, not a lot of hoodies. Don't need to pack a lot of hoodies. Upper 60s, low 70s.
It's all I own. It's just hybrid hoodies. It's all I own.
Yeah. It might be cold inside the stadium, but it's going to be beautiful there. So yeah, we're very much enjoying that. I just got most of my gym equipment is in. I'm still waiting on my Echo bike, which comes this week. I am feeling really good about these purchases. And so I have everything set up. I'm doing kind of the garage gym thing. I've got some space, have some nice storage, for everything. And then I just pull it out, get my workouts done, put it all back. And yet there's part of me that thinks, in about 6 months, it's going to be 1,000 degrees. And I don't know what I'm going to do then. So we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, I think that's
one of those camping upright air conditioners and just put it so it blows right on you.
That's what I'm thinking. Is there's got to be something, right?
Why not just one of those fans that they put in HYROX, and we did that one time when what race was it? Where we just had the fans blowing on us every time we turned the corner.
I don't remember. That sounds amazing. But yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was the case. They had the door open. But I'm thinking about just a big, a fan the size of, a giant fan.
Well, I will say when it gets hot enough in Vegas, and I don't know how sort of Canadians handle the cold. I think y'all just go inside. And that's kind of what we have to do, in as much as if you're blowing air on you, it's still hot air. Yeah. It's just a convection oven instead of a conventional oven. And so there does come a point where it's just completely out of the question. So I'm going to need something to cool me, or I may just turn one of my rooms into, a space like Dave used to have.
That's the real way to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think so.
Oh, fucking ad. Well, I brought this up, the Polar Jet 36. And if this is actual human size, it's the size of this man, who is probably somewhere between 5'8" and 6 foot, and it's only $33.45.
Perfect.
You can get a stand-up air conditioner of like 10,000 BTUs for about $500.
Okay, we will be talking, Dave.
Yeah.
But I will say one of the things that I'm doing is putting all of this stuff on my High Points credit card, so I can afford Stockholm.
There you go.
So the husband is fairly open to me just bankrolling all of this at this point. He may not flinch at a big price.
Well, I'm excited for your home gym. It's actually been, I went out in the cold here not that long ago. For where we live, like 40s is cold, and if people see you out running or working out, they think you're crazy, but we all know that, like, that's not that bad. You start sweating and it's all good.
Yeah, you get warmed up quick.
But it's when it hits the 20s, that's what I've noticed. Because like the other day, like just when you walk out and that cold hits you in a different way once you're actually below freezing, and then if there's any wind, I've actually been running in these rad shades that I think I got for free from Gooder that are like the the cool Terminator glasses, but they're amazing for running in the. Oh wait, I got a message from Polar Jet. What do you think they want to say to me?
Buy a fan.
Welcome to our site. Do you have any questions?
Dave, do you guys just run on treadmills when it gets that cold? Like,
You can both. It depends. I mean, people still run outside. They'll put on cool. They'll put on spikes, like ice spikes, and run.
That's amazing.
Yeah, not me. I mean, I've done it when I was more into OCR. I would do it just because I needed to do the outdoor running to be ready for it. But now, nope, just treadmill.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the HYROX news on the Knott's Olive Show. We got cruises, we got bags, we got OnlyFans athletes, and we've got a bunch of sponsors to talk about. Dave, I'm going to let you choose, Dave, on the roulette of topics this morning. This afternoon.
Go with the cruise.
Okay, the HYROX Cruise, ladies and gentlemen. The HYROX Cruise, as Cheryl and I noticed when you weren't here, Dave, sorry you missed it, it was like we read all the stuff, and then in the very bottom in tiny print, open only to Europe. And so Americans were greeted with an email that said, now that it's all ready, now that everything's been set, now it's ready. So basically, this is when an event cancels or postpones, and they're like, we've done, ribbed for your pleasure. We've done this for you. We've canceled the race for you, not because we didn't sell enough tickets.
Yeah.
So this was their way of saying, like, yeah, we waited till it was just right to open the tickets up to America, which means what? You don't care about the Euros? And my friend Ian K thinks they must not be selling very well. And I just thought, I don't know. I just think maybe they wanted to give them first dibs.
Have you looked at the price?
I don't know if that's unheard of for a cruise, though. Isn't that what cruises cost?
Roughly 3,000 American for 4 days.
I looked and there were some much cheaper options. 3,000 for a cabin. So if we split it,
no, 3,000 for an inner room. That's for the internal room.
As opposed to what being like having to be out in the rain.
No, those are the crappy rooms. That's the cheap room.
Like a room with a view. If you've got the balcony
or an outside room, those are more expensive.
Well, would you like to know the capacity of this ship? Because it's easy to find out.
Okay.
Sure.
2,506 with 1,300 crew members. So that's a tiny ship because I thought those things. So now I am surprised, but also not, because I asked Chat, my best friend, hey, isn't cruises for fat Americans and Euros don't really do the whole cruise thing? And, it said, well, that's one way to look at it. But they said that they view cruises as for old people, which I think it was once true in America too, but also they can train or fly almost anywhere for really cheap, and it's just not kind of their vibe, which again begs the question, why not do it here? Why not do it like Caribbean or something?
Again, I think maybe when you guys said it, I think this was a case of a cruise place or somebody else had this idea and gave it to HYROX and said, we want to do this. Can we use your name? And ran with it. I mean, it's just, to me, that's just expensive for what it is in my mind. Some people might lap it up and love it, but just for me, that's not good value.
I mean, it's nearly $1,000 a day.
Yeah.
And you have to fly there, and it's not, I think it's point to point. So you got to get 2 flights kind of thing. Like 2.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know. You could be right.
Yeah, I did. When I learned it was only 2,300 tickets, I thought that really, because again, if you think almost anybody going is probably going with a friend or spouse or family member, right? So it's only, now we're talking 1,000 tickets. So I am kind of surprised they couldn't even sell that much. Like this speaks to maybe the thing we talk about and how many diehards there are, but I feel like there's enough diehards to sell that many tickets.
They have opened it up to people's kids. You can bring your kids.
I thought it was always that way.
I didn't look, when I heard HYROX Cruise, I was not picturing kids. So that actually surprised me to see that they said that several times in this article, right? That oh, you can bring your kids, which again, more expense, right? For a family to be able to do. But it also just completely changed what I thought the experience was going to be. I think I was expecting it to be kind of a HYROX camp, which, they have those down in, Cyprus or whatever. They do those a lot in Europe, and they do them here on occasion. I've been to some, and it's always just campers, right? You come and you work out and you do all the HYROX things, and it's your own vacation. You start bringing your kids, and it's a completely different experience. So I was just really surprised with that.
I thought you just get some of both. Like, they're the people with 3 or 4 kids that are like, yeah, we bring our kids everywhere, or even 2 kids, and then there'll be the young, fun single people. I think that was the miss. I think this was an opportunity, although we did mention how they posted Lauren Weeks and a couple of others are going as like some of the coaches or whatever. But I think this would have been a good time to do the hot ambassador thing. Like, have those girls, have the hot ambassador girls posting that they're going, and then that kind of creates that party vibe. So again, they probably didn't think they needed to, but
yeah,
it seems like
the
if there was any
HYROX
time
Fire Festival,
if there was a time to do that, it would have been the time to do it. It would be like, hey, I'm this chick and I'm going and I'm really hot. Come join me on the cruise.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, it changed everything for me when I found out that families were going. It just seems completely different now.
Yeah.
So, I just don't see the appeal to it. I don't see the appeal to, other than a party, but if you're just looking for a great party, you don't have to spend $3,000 on a cruise to get a great HYROX party.
Yes.
Right. And so to me, I just don't see the appeal. I don't see why I would bother.
Well, and we may be talking about this in a few minutes, but is HYROX just selling their name to everybody?
That would be a good time to move on to the next next chapter of. So I wanna lead off by saying
HYROX the snow globe.
I get emails from the PR team, which is their job to tell me about new product placement and announcements. And when I saw this banking card, which is called bunq, which in America means crap.
Yeah, not a good name for Americans.
Now, apparently, the youngins don't really say that. It really is more folks 40 and up say that's bunq, but it still just jumps out as like not really a great name. And what does it do? Why would anyone switch their bank to just it said something about lines, and I got really excited. I was like, oh well, shit, if you can buy tickets, then there's your thing. But it's not. It's just when you go in, there's going to be a fast lane to check in. So if you go in at a really crowded time, you save time. But I mean, who's going to be in that line? Like one person? Nobody? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
So they want us to get this bank card. That's what that is.
Well, it's a credit card. It's a credit card and or a debit card. I think it's either. But if you go to the website and it's just Google's all the fancy financial things that you already do, it's like, but you can do this and you can do that and you can do this and anything you can already do. The one thing it was, I think, trying to say was because they don't have Venmo, you could use that. But again, Europeans already all do it with their own banks and PayPal. So again, but if you can do this, you can do this. Of course, the first thing I did was just put it all in the chat and say, what is this actually doing that people don't already have with whatever card they already have? But if it was, I don't know, maybe 25% off merch, maybe that's a reason to do it. But the line getting into HYROX, no one I think is going to switch their banking just so they can save 10 or 20 minutes in the day of. Again, if it was for ticket sales, that's a different story.
So that's the only benefit they're offering. And
that was the HYROX benefit. I'll go find the email again.
And I can't think of, I seldom hear people complain about that when we talk about HYROX, right? Like they're never like, oh, the lines were so long. Sometimes, like on occasion they are, but for the most part, they do a pretty good job of moving us through and getting us registered. And oftentimes it's, day before registration or whatever. Get a pre-race or, pre-ticket sales code or something like that. Like things that people are actually complaining about would be worth maybe jumping over. But do I want to ally myself with a new financial institution just because they have a relationship with a race company? That seems like a stretch.
If I get my bunq bank card and book a HYROX Cruise with it, do I get like a lifetime subscription? That should be good.
This card offers exclusive race day and lifestyle benefits, including bunq Fast Track, a dedicated race day check-in to skip queues. Hold on. I have somebody here. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Is it already done?
Yeah.
The big table's already done?
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Sure.
I'll be right back. Talk
Okay.
amongst yourself. Don't save the good stuff for me.
All right.
Podcasting?
Yeah.
Okay. What's he? Is he in a bedroom?
This is his new. Oh, you haven't been around for his new office.
Yeah.
This is his
Well,
new.
I saw button, but I just see a bunk bed in the back there. So
Right, because his new office is also going to be his daughter's room when she's visiting.
that just looks like somewhere where Matt can get kicked out too.
It looks like a college dorm right now, doesn't it?
A little bit. But it's a little bit like, you're in trouble, Matt. Go sleep in the doghouse.
maybe it'll have a couple of different purposes. I don't know. He did have his desk where that credenza is, so the window was behind him, and I think he has rightly turned, so now the window is in front of him to give him better light, which is
Natural light.
yes, going to be very helpful. So I did that as well. Where are you right now?
I am at a friend's place. So through the week, because I'm still working this winter, next winter, hopefully not. So this winter I'm still working. So I go and I spend the week at a friend's place very close to my work. And then on the weekend, I head back up to the cottage to be with Rye and do our thing.
Gotcha. Okay. The fact that you have a cottage is really romantic, and I love that idea.
Well, it's not our cottage, but yeah, we have one for
But
the
you
winter.
go back up to the cottage for the weekend.
I'll tell it straight out. There was like 2 weeks where we were straight up there, just her and I over winter and over the Christmas holidays. And most of the time we were kind of like snowed in a little bit. And it was just great.
Yeah. That's what you want.
So it was fantastic.
So you have one more winter that you're working, and then you're free?
That's the plan. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I plan not to work any more winters.
And then have you made solid plans for
For the
next winter?
Nope.
So it could be anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We have a couple of options and we just haven't decided yet.
Okay. That's kind of exciting, don't you think?
Oh yeah, we're solid. We're excited. It'll be good.
Good.
If we don't come up with anything, we'll just go back to the same cottage and I'll just take the winter off and we'll just hang out there for the winter together and work out.
Because that's been working pretty well.
Oh, loving it, man. Loving Cole's gym is absolutely awesome.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So that cottage is next to Cole's gym.
And it's about 15 minutes away.
That's perfect, though.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And
great.
then where you're staying with your friend, do you have access to gyms there?
Yeah. We're like right outside of Toronto area.
Okay. All right. So
I actually went to the LT gym, which is very close to me here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's right. Yeah. So did you get a chance to work out there?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I took one
So
day.
compare and contrast Cole Learn's gym with an LT.
Oof. I'm trying to think that it's such a wide difference. Other than the fact that they're both gyms, there's not much in common. Cole's gym is much more. It does have more of a CrossFit feel in the one area, but then there's also some straight machines and regular workouts and cardio stuff. So I mean, you don't have that classic kind of box feeling all over it. Class, it's more. I don't want to say boutique because that makes it sound less intense. It's an intense gym. There's a lot of fit people there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, for me, it's great because it's just the way I like to work out. LT, man, there was hundreds of people in there.
Yes.
It was just slam packed full of people. And then there's every amenity you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But not really the way I like to work out. I liked the change room a lot.
Everything there is so well done. It's also kind of well appointed and it's so beautiful. I think that it's reaching such a diverse population that it almost can never work for people like us who need to set up a workout the way we want to set it up. When I work out at LT, I'm having to move through the gym quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily having to worry about getting equipment because they've always got plenty of equipment and their treadmills are amazing.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've got to work out this weekend where I've got to do 20 calories on the Echo bike and then like run 800 meters, right? And the whole stimulus is supposed to be, you know, get off the bike and get running, right? So that you can kind of get that compromised running feel. If I was to do it at LT, where the Echo bikes are, to be able to get to the treadmill, push the buttons, get it up to speed, I am probably fully recovered by the time I'm hitting speed on that treadmill. So it's not going to give me the same stimulus, right?
Yeah, and I'm with you because like if I set up some sort of little circuit at like you can't even do it at LT. Like it's just the space wasn't there. It just doesn't work.
You have to move. You can't move everything in. Do they have an alpha room there at your LT? Because we have an alpha room.
And I went into that area before there was a class, and that's where I started to work out. And then the class came and I kind of had to stop.
Yeah.
And so then I just went and hit the bike after that for a while.
Right.
But, like at Cole's gym, if I'm setting up a workout at Cole's gym, people would just be like, "Oh, I'm going to make sure I'm out of your way because what you're doing looks pretty stupid, and I want to see how that goes."
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Doing their thing, and they'll set up their thing, and it's just a different type of gym goer.
There's a different culture, and they understand what you're doing.
Yes.
And I can honestly say, like right now, the way our LT is set up, I couldn't even set up an LT games workout.
Oh no way, not a chance.
Right? Like there's no way for me to set it all up so that I can get that done. And so, and nobody would understand what I was doing. One time I did pick up a rower and move it over by a wall ball target so I could do sort of a row wall ball thing. And nobody said anything, but I also knew I was totally breaking the rules. Like nobody expects you to like move equipment, even if it has wheels on it. So hence, like, I think with me getting this equipment that I've gotten for my own house, I'm just realizing that hybrid athletes either have the luxury of having an Elite 15 person who has their own gym near them. Other than that, it's actually really, really hard to find a way to get these workouts done unless you just set it up at your own house.
The home gym's the way to go. If you have the space, like, and even when we go back to the campground, we'll be at the campground to work out. And of course we'll be so close to our farm girl gym as well then, so we can scoot off there and do that. But yeah, like at Cole's, I wanted to learn fit there, and there's a guy, he's doing the workout. They got the video camera on. They got judges. I'm like, okay, this guy's doing an online qualification for something. We will gladly stay out of his way and we won't, ruin his, we're not going to walk, not even walk across to get a piece of equipment because we know that could screw up his qualification video. And that's what I mean. The culture, the people that are there, they know that.
Right.
They know that, okay, this is what's going on. Great. Okay. This guy over here, he's doing this. He needs this, this, and this. Great. Okay. I'm going to leave him alone. I'm going to put my butt over here. And it's just, I think it's like you say, it's a culture thing. The LT Lifetime gym, like if you just want to be a gym goer, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Like if you want really to quite incredible and then maybe take a class, that's amazing. But it's just not, it doesn't work for what I like to do.
Yeah. Well, and I will say this. So, you do a lot of your own programming. I have programming from my coach, and then I do my own programming as well. And so it is about setting up workouts. But for someone like my husband who thrives in classes, I have already told Wes Robertson that there is no better programming than Lifetime programming.
Oh, really?
It's absolutely spectacular. Yeah, no, it is. I am so impressed how, they've got a squat and pull day, and then the next day is a hinge and press day. Like you could just string all of the classes together throughout the week and have a full body, well-appointed workout. Compromised running versus, strength. He took a full-on skill class where he learned snatches and things like that. They're doing an excellent job with programming. And so I think for those of us who kind of just want someone to do the programming for us, I don't think there's anything better.
And I would think that would be the majority of people.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's that's the majority. Look how niche we are. Nobody does what we do. We're the weird ones. Yeah. So so home gyms for us, but yeah, raw Lifetime. I mean, their programming is absolutely world class. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I knew I was in the right spot when Rye was doing actually an HTX workout, and two of the other girls were on the bike going, just screaming at her, just cheering for her when they're on their bike. I'm like, yeah, see, this is our kind of place.
That's what you need. Yeah. That's the move. So, all right, Matt, you're back. We have exhausted our discussion. So,
okay. So we were discussing the amazing bank card and what it does and doesn't do. And I did mention you do get 10% cash back in HYROX shops. But then here it says race entry giveaways and more benefits to be added throughout the season. So a lot of marketing speak, a lot of nothing, a lot of I'm not sure who this is for.
So promises that may, if they are kept, make it worth it at some point.
I look forward to seeing what they have at their booth, because they'll also have a booth at every event. And I don't know, they're going to give out probably keychains or wallets or a toaster or who knows. But that leads us to...
Yeah, I'll take Marcus Wallace and Jack Bauer's keys to getting cheap flights instead.
Absolutely. No, that's what that's what we're doing is we're taking we got the card that they recommended actually, so that we could capitalize on that. Stockholm is not inexpensive.
Just rub in my horrible credit.
Okay, so if credit cards aren't our thing, what about dating apps?
What about surf dating? So I hear about surf dating. I message Matt Kemp, my favorite single person in HYROX. Mike, hey man, you're a millennial. You're on the apps. You're the perfect guy for this. And he was going to come on, but he doesn't have time to come on. So I will quickly say that he said, well, let me put it to you this way. What companies want to create now, their new favorite word is frictionless experience. That was not his case. There was much friction.
Not my kind of dating.
People are less patient than ever, right? Like you get to a page, you hit that link, it doesn't work. There's no coming back. It used to like in 20 years ago, maybe you'd be a little bit patient, but now it's just like any barrier to entry is a no-go. So he was not thrilled with the onboarding process. It wasn't one of the first things he said to me was they're asking me my major, which who gives a shit, first of all, but it didn't match like what he even has. And so he couldn't go forward without it. Sorry. The very first question is give us access to all of your contacts, which is again, like if you look into it, they're saying, well, this is how we keep it safe and away from bots. And it's like, there's other ways to do that. So give us access to all your contacts. A not so easy onboarding process. Then it said, now that you filled this out, it's going to be 2 weeks, which I didn't think it'd be 2 weeks. It ended up only being about a day. But Matt was saying not for him. And I think he's a good candidate. So if you have different experience, that your mileage is different and you use this, again, I don't know why anyone would go to a new app. Like, I just feel like, yes, all business, all categories are crowded and tough to break into, but it just seems like that's one that's time is coming. And as time has come is gone. Like people are already sick of the apps and going back to in person. Like that seems to be the move now, right?
I've talked to a lot of people about this for some reason. People found this really fascinating. And I think it was Matt Halfhill and I were talking about how if you want to meet someone at HYROX, like the run clubs are the move, I mean, that's where you really get, I think, good relationships. And there are a couple things that kind of struck me about this. First of all, I don't know if you remember, but I think it was they were going to announce this on the 14th or something. And so they put out a post. I think HYROX America put out a post where it just said, announcement coming, 1/14/26. And it just had a black background and a yellow heart, right? That was it. And so everybody's like, ooh, what's this going to be? And I will say my favorite, one of the reasons why I stay on Facebook is because of the HYROX group, because they're amazing. Like you have people on there who are so brand new and you just love them because they say things like, when do you think there's going to be a HYROX in Oklahoma? And you just want to hug them, right? They just don't know. They just don't know yet. And so there's those folks, but then there's also people who are really seasoned and we're answering the questions and, that sort of thing. And people were speculating as to what this yellow heart meant. And a lot of people were saying, well, it must mean that they're getting ready to drop the New York dates. Right. Because the heart, I love New York, kind of thing. I think they, everybody just wants to know when New York is. And instead, of course, we get this announcement that this dating app is now, in partnership with HYROX. And somebody put on the official community page who had a dating app on their bingo card for what HYROX America teased. Right. And everybody just said, we just want the New York dates. Like, can you just give us, I just think it's one thing, it's Christmas time and you've got this gorgeous package underneath the tree and you're spending all this time speculating what it is. And if you open it and it sucks, it just makes it even more insulting, right? Like, why even wrap the gift, And I feel like that's kind of what happened. Somebody posted on that conversation that their Random Run Club in Raleigh, North Carolina, also had Surf sponsor one of their runs with like free coffee and, stuff like that for like 150 plus people. And so they said, download the app. Literally none of the women downloaded the app, right? It was only guys that downloaded the app. No people showed up. And he just deleted it a week later. And it was just, it's kind of a real disappointment, right? So I do think there are definitely issues with this. Plus, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say all work is noble work. You work in marketing, you are no less of a person than me or Dave or anyone. However, you in marketing, get a fucking clue. Don't be so lazy. There is no way that this expectation, which worked, right? Expectation, what is it? There's no way the answer, the payoff isn't, aw. So
Yeah.
I used to get on Adrian all the time for this. And we've joked about it, where Adrian from OCRWC, and it was always a big tease. And it was 9 times out of 10 a fucking sponsor. And I was like, that shit sucks. And like, it's very 2010 Facebook. And he's like, I don't care. Like, we've joked about it. Like, teases suck, right? I personally...
Teases work for certain things.
Well, they work if it pays off, but most of the time they won't. And everybody, whether they have a race idea or a new cupcake, everybody thinks their tease pays off, but it doesn't. That's my point.
No. Teases pay off for something like coming in 2 weeks, world championship location. Guess what it is? That
sure.
Works,
yes.
Right? Because you're being teased, but you have an idea what it's going to be. It's not
right.
Tease coming up. We're expecting world championship location, and you give us HYROX the slipper.
Right. It's like if you're going on a date and she says, "Hey, I'll see you on Friday. I shaved my legs." Right? Like, at least you got an idea of what might be coming. Okay. Yeah. I knew Sharon would appreciate that one. That was just for you. So yeah, for there not to be just a collective sigh and not something that anyone's. And again, listen, you're in marketing. I get it. It's your job to sell a product, but let's try to have some originality. And HYROX should have pushed back and said, we know this is going to piss off our audience, so we're not going to do that, because
it's so insulting.
The heart to New York is a leap. It's a small leap, but it's still a leap.
It is indicative of how starved we are for the real information we need.
But if they might think that's working, then they're like, great, it did exactly what we thought it would do. Even if they hate the announcement, we get to keep starving the streets and keep them on their toes.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think that's short-term gain, long-term loss.
Well, again, I think that's the
thought process.
That's the ever-growing battle of how to do this thing. And I hope people aren't sick of it, but I always think about OCR. And Dave, I went back and listened to, I interviewed this kid, he's now almost 40, Cole, on the podcast. If you listen to it, great. If you didn't, it's okay too. But it made me go back and find the interview we did in 2013. And then that led me to more, I just kind of kept listening to episodes of what was happening in 2013. And I almost brought a clip, but it was so, I was going to play it for you guys, and I'm mad that I forgot, but it was basically like, hey guys, we had an issue at this race in Indiana where a guy skirted the rolling mud, and Spartan says they're working on it and they're going to fix it. And I thought, oh my God, like it never got fixed. This was 2013 and it never got fixed, the ruling stuff. But anyhow, again, I get you've got a job to do. I get partners pay the bills, but like let's be creative. Let's not do shitty teases that don't pay off for your consumer, that only pay off for you. And again, do they not care, or did they think we were going to go, oh my God, thank God the tease was a dating app?
Is it a good idea to say yes to every partnership?
I think that's where we're going with this, right? So the other one we've got that we were going to talk about was Legend Casino, which came out a few weeks ago, and allows you to bet on sports, but specifically HYROX.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were paying attention in the early few weeks of it, the odds were really good. So if you put money in, it was they didn't know how to do it yet. My understanding was there was somebody that helped them for the first time, but then moving forward, they didn't, and they were just guessing. So Lauren Weeks, for example, was like plus 2,000, which is like a really easy bet if you bet on Lauren Weeks, right? But here's the problem. When I first Googled them, it was a lot of, boy, is this website difficult to get money out of. And here's a bunch of reasons why. And then there were others that were saying, go to Reddit. There's a lots of this. So the other piece of that, one of the reasons is because it's not a gambling website. It's a something website. So Dave, I don't bet. It would be like if Dave opened up a casino and Dave said, the first thing you have to do is buy 100 Dave bucks. And with those 100 Dave bucks, you get 80 real dollars. And when you win on that bet, you have to convert it back to the Dave bucks, and then I'll give you back your money. That kind of shit. Cheryl just rolled her eyes. Audio.
Yeah, that's pretty big. I think they use that loophole in Young Sheldon.
Yes, well, exactly. So it's how people get around gambling laws. And so just not great. And then listen, I've gone up to their booth, and they've got a couple of nice folks working there who are, like most people, sent from the local production and or marketing and or staffing company. And they'll answer your questions the best they can, but they mostly know about the gaming side. Like there's games on it. And, again, it's all about coins, buy 50. You can buy GC or you can buy OC, and here's the different C's and what they do. And it's kind of crazy. So anyway, I think that's the question we've been asking is like, when do you say no, HYROX? What's that?
Then you say no. Then now.
When will now be then?
Soon.
Vet the businesses. Have somebody on your staff get online and do the research you just did to see whether or not this is a good representation of the brand, right? If we're just going to have a bunch of trashy stuff that doesn't work, it seems like a really bad move.
Let me be devil's advocate for a second. This could be a new segment. This could be a new segment where I completely speculate. Are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just thinking how they think. If I'm Mo, right? And I'm like Mo Fusta, and I'm like, I said, if I got Mo alone, let's speculate I get Mo alone. I go, Mo, come on, dude. What's the deal with some of these sponsors you guys are kind of saying yes to? And he'd be like, listen, all sports do this, all companies do this. It's not our job to figure out blah, blah, blah. Look at this company. Look at this company. Look at this shady fintech company that went out of business that sponsored the crypto arena. That's not our job. And over time, people still know they can trust us, blah, blah, blah. What do you say to that, Cheryl Snow?
First of all, I don't believe that, because what I'm sitting here thinking about Amazfit. I'm thinking about the feed, and I'm thinking about what kind of credibility am I going to have if I'm sitting next to these guys who don't have good reviews and who people are frustrated with and who, aren't putting the best foot forward for the business. Like, they're putting real money into this. They're reputable companies. They're excellent. And it's always felt like a great partnership, right? And then all of a sudden you're just letting these guys in. I as a sponsor would be not happy about that. And so I think you owe it to people who you've already partnered with to make sure that the people you're bringing in have the same level of service and professionalism.
I've been sued a couple of times, so I want to quickly say all of this is speculation. These apps and things are just our opinion. These are not facts. You can use them. You can 100% use them right now. I'm not stopping you. Please go use them and try them. There, I got that out there because I've been sued twice. So now we got that out of the way. Dave, what do you say to my big, like, hey, it's part of business and people know that we don't really vet them? And because when you said, how do they decide? It's like the call comes in. These guys want to give us 250 grand to sponsor the season. Should we take it? Yes. Yeah.
It's just, to me, it's just the more sponsors like this that they take, the more partnerships they make, the more this and that and that and that. It does, in my mind, it doesn't grow the brand. It grows fatigue. And I just become so bored of, oh, great. Here, like I said, reference snakes to Spaceballs, HYROX the snow globe. Like, I just, I don't really, it doesn't bring anything into me. It doesn't make me want to support these sponsors. And the sponsors don't bring me to HYROX. I think it's at best and neutral, a sideways effect. It doesn't do much for me. I do want to say something else though. I think gambling for HYROX is really wrong, really big mistake. Because, and I'll use this as an example, and I'll use Dylan and Rich because they can both take a little jab at their character and be okay with it. Let's say Dylan and Rich are at a race and somebody else is behind them and kind of favored to come third. And I'm going to bet 100 grand on that person to come third at massive odds. And I'm going to tell Dylan and Rich, I'm going to give you each 50 grand to let him pass you at the end.
Bad news or good news?
Oh, it's good.
Okay, sorry. Hold on, guys. Sorry, one more second.
Uh-oh, we have bad news and good news.
It sounds like it's good.
Do we have to wait for you to finish your analogy? I want to hear the analogy.
I don't know. It's like I do.
Let me just say this too.
You can jump in on that, but you see what I mean? Like, it's not big enough. There's not enough money on the high athlete end to not worry about that.
Well,
And
given
also,
the stories that have literally come out this past week about this.
Yeah, and I mean, you're in Vegas, right? You're the home of this shit, right? Yeah. Like, if it happens at the high end level where people are making millions as far as athletes go, you don't think that people making tens of thousands aren't going to be subject, or even just the shady characters aren't going to come in and just say, hey, I think you better lose today.
Yeah, I know that, gambling is becoming, such a great pastime for people. And, they're really, it's obvious, but the scandals are starting to show up, and it is those mid-level athletes that are the most tempted with that sort of thing. I will say, from somebody from Las Vegas, like when I hear something about a casino like this, like an online casino, like the only thing I think about are the people that I walk by when I'm in a casino to go to whatever I'm doing, who have been sitting there for 9 hours at a video poker machine, just playing video poker. Like, it's not glamorous to me to just spend your money on these things. And I do feel like it almost cheapens the experience to kind of have this be part of the experience right now. Like, it seems much less professional to be able to accept this. And so I do worry, like, I feel like one of the things that makes HYROX really wonderful, and I think, is one of my favorite things, is just how slick they are and the kind of partnerships that they have. They have Puma. They don't have Under Armour, right? They've got, all the really top-notch stuff, and everything looks really great. And then to throw in something that may even besmirch their image even a little bit is very surprising to me. So, okay, finish the analogy for Matt so that Matt can say something.
I have a great analogy for you, Cheryl, after he's done.
Yeah. So like I said, if I have, and I'll go a little more depth. So I've got Dylan and Rich, they're at a race. They're favored to go 1-2. And then I'll throw in another guy who I know won't mind you mentioning his name. Austin Azar is there. He's your third favorite guy. I bet 100 grand on Austin Azar, right? And he's got great odds, maybe 2,000 to 1, whatever the case may be. And I go to Rich and I go to Dylan and I say, you guys are already qualified for Worlds. This race doesn't mean anything to you. What I want you to do, drop back to 2 and 3, and I'm going to give you each 100 grand.
Right.
Now,
Step on
Obviously.
a couple lines.
Yeah, a couple penalties. I don't care how you do it. Just make
Yep.
sure Austin gets by you.
Right.
Right. And obviously, completely hypothetical bullshit. I don't believe Rich and Dylan would even take it. I would, but they wouldn't. But it sets that up for doubt. It sets that up as a possibility. And it, like I said, Cheryl, it sets up too for like unsavory people to come in and actually forcibly put stuff that on people. Like, it's just gambling on a sport that doesn't have that kind of backing, doesn't have this kind of structure and safety nets for this kind of thing is a dangerous move.
3 years ago, it was bad. And I said, which now has been written on a lot, but I said it pretty early. Hey, this is going to be like opioids or the housing crisis. Like, this is bad. And it's gotten fucking worse because they do this thing now where you literally bet on anything.
Yeah.
So I could go on there and create something that says, Matt B. Davis will say shit over or under 3 times on this week's episode. Like, you can literally gamble on anything. So it's getting worse. And I think it will continue until it get better. It'll get like something like the biggest one that they think they can maybe try to figure out is, something called the unders, where someone is supposed to have, again, it used to be a basic concept of what we call a prop bet or a proposition bet is over or under. Will the 49ers score over or under 35 points? Will Larry Bird have over? So these professional basketball players who make millions of dollars were betting on themselves to take the under, meaning they were in for 5 minutes, then took themselves out of the game for an injury, and they won the under, and millions are made behind the scenes. Now, what the gambling sites are going to tell you is we can actually catch this stuff because they look at these lines like, that seems odd. Why is everyone betting on this random guy's under? And they do, and that's how most of these things come. Most of these big investigations come down because the sites do tip them off, the DraftKings or whatever. But it's a much bigger problem than HYROX. But yeah, I remember when I first saw it, I thought this is crazy. But then I came this close in Chicago to putting a bet on, because Atlanta I saw it and Cole was there. And I was like, well, Cole can't lose this race, right? And then I was like, maybe I put something on. I forget who else was there to come in second, but like Jack D. But, Cole won by 5 minutes, I think. So I thought about it. And then the next race I was at was Chicago. And it was one of those things where I saw the line and I looked at it and I kept being tempted. And then I ended up not doing it. But I came this close because, like I said, it was like Lauren plus 1,000 or something. But again, I think, sorry to spoil it, but I'm pretty sure these guys won't make it more than a season, right? Legends or Surf Dating or whoever, they won't get the ROI they thought they would get, and they won't be the sponsor next year. So it's funny, the analogy you said with the feed and the Amazfit was, when I worked for this producer who has since had a documentary made about him. I won't even say his name because I don't want to get sued by him either. But there's been a documentary made about him, and we had a casting for a real movie, and that's where I got to meet Charlie Sheen before he was like this new version of him these last 20 years.
Before he was winning.
Before he was winning, I met Cheryl, again, I think you'll appreciate this. I met Adam Rich from 8 is Enough. Do you remember 8 is Enough?
Oh my gosh, that's a long time ago. Wow.
He was looking for a gig. I met a lot of random actors and actresses who come in for the casting. I'm just sitting at the desk and, have a seat over there. But they also had kind of like, there was a couple of roles that were like bimbos on parade, right? And I remember this female casting director came in and was really pissed off. And she was like, hey, do those on a different fucking day. You want to do the bimbos on parade day for the girls that you want to hook up with. Like, pick a different day. They get their own day for that role. Don't send the bimbos in with my real fucking actors.
Wow.
These were like Tropicana girls. Like, they weren't actually actresses. Not that makes you a bad person, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes. Yes.
So I thought she had a good point.
Yeah.
I guess so. It's an interesting world out there.
All right. My tables are built, by the way. We have a lot going on, and
What tables?
we have lots of furniture being built, and there was a big problem with one that I had to. Anyway, he solved it, thankfully. So I said, good news or bad news. So that's what was happening there. But now I'm back. All righty. Do you want to talk about the big controversy from last week?
I want you to talk about it. I think we need to hear about your feelings.
Oh boy. So this gal, Blair, for those who haven't listened to my interview with her, messaged me out of nowhere, I don't know, 6 months ago. Hey, I'm here in Brazil. Tara Jackson is here. Would you like me to take pictures? And I said, absolutely. I always love a good, finisher of first place people. And we post them, and it's great. It's cool. Tara went on this trip, and yay, let's do that. So she did that for me, and I appreciated it. And then I saw this sponsorship announcement, and I thought, I'll post about this. And I did think, yes, this is a thing that will get a lot of attention. But I honestly, in the bottom of my heart, thought people are going to think of it like as a goof. Like I just kind of forgot how the internet worked, because I just thought people would be like, well, of course this happened. Kind of like, oh, gambling on HYROX. Oh, OnlyFans HYROX. The one thing I wish I did different was say that it wasn't adult content in the front end, because I honestly didn't know until after she said so. But it didn't bother me either way. But had I known that, I would have changed that initial title. But as we found out with the follow-up post, it doesn't matter. People still have feelings anyway. So here's where my feelings are. I was surprised at the amount of negativity that came from it, especially from women, because we definitely seem to live in an age where almost everybody's post is respect my feelings, respect my opinions, don't judge me if you don't know me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's an awful lot of what people put out there. And somebody does something that they don't agree with morally or financially, and like flat out hate, and people accusing me of all kinds of things, that took me by surprise. So am I completely naive and idiotic, Cheryl, that I didn't see that coming?
So here's one of the issues. Maybe what happened is that people read your post the way I read your post, which is I was just kind of scrolling through. I always read your stuff, right? I need to read your stuff. And I misinterpreted everything about that post. I thought that you were highlighting an athlete who was an OnlyFans person, which I have to say, I don't know a ton about OnlyFans. All I think
it's mostly adult content. It's
right.
Mostly.
That's what I'm assuming. I didn't know there was non-adult content on there. I literally didn't know that there wasn't. I thought if you're on OnlyFans, you're probably naked, right? That's what I'm assuming. And so when I read the post, my interpretation was this woman is doing OnlyFans to finance her HYROX races. That was the basic summary that I got coming away from that post. And it turns out that's actually not what it is that OnlyFans, the company, is sponsoring her as an athlete, right?
Correct.
Okay. Whether she's on OnlyFans or not, I don't even know if she is.
No, part of the deal is you do have to put content on there. But as you saw from the interview I did with her, they have hundreds of athletes, mostly fighting and surfing and a lot of random people.
Right. And she's a beautiful girl. And of course, I would want to see lots of beautiful content from somebody like that. Like she'd look amazing, right? Like there are lots of HYROX athletes I don't mind looking at, right? So the aesthetic is there. So yeah, I think maybe people jump to conclusions about who she is and maybe they were surprised that you would feature her, but bottom line, none of that actually matters because you talk to all sorts of athletes. The reason why I talk to you every week is because you reached out to me and interviewed me. Like, for people to accuse you of, well, she's not really an athlete. Well, neither am I, like, we're all racing. Oh, look at Dave's face. That's
You are an athlete. I can't give you that one.
But she finishes races. I finish races, right? Like, and yeah, I tried to look up her times to see, geez, how good is she, right? But the fact that she can get any sponsorships is pretty amazing because I don't have any, right? So I really am not. I'm not surprised by the reaction just because I think people have a knee-jerk reaction and they kind of they don't know who this person is, and so they might think, why is he talking to her? But the fact is, Matt, you talk to everybody. Like, you just talk to all sorts of people. You're not here to just talk to, you're not Greg, right? You're not talking to just elites on the Rocks Life podcast about how much they can deadlift, right? You talk to people about all sorts of stuff and their whole situation. And she is yet another one that you.
But the interesting thing is that my goal was not to interview her. I just posted it. But when all this shit happened, I was like, well, people are going to be shitty. Let's at least get to know her. Let's have a real person behind this thing. But that didn't, of course, that didn't help either. I mean, that just, like, why are you showing her again?
You just threw gas on the fire. Yeah.
Why have you dared show me this person who doesn't win HYROXs and does something that I don't agree with in my personal values? How dare you on your platform talk about this person? That's basically what they're saying.
Well, and what don't they agree with? I mean, if she's posting content online of her racing,
it's a sin, Cheryl, I think, to have sex.
I think a lot of people were like, Cheryl, you had that same take from the first time they saw the
yeah, I think it was a communication issue.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my take on this is I really didn't give a crap.
Like, well, and that's what I kind of thought would happen. Like, people would
see but I mean, like, to me, like,
see it and scroll by or think it was funny. Like, oh, of course.
Yeah, like, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Whether she did adult content or not adult content or whatever, to me, it was just like, it's not interesting to me. I don't care. So my assumption is that the people that were upset were probably closer to had that impression that Cheryl had off the bat. And if that is against their values, that's against their values. That's their right to say. I think some people, maybe, I'm going to guess a lot of people didn't watch the interview after, which I'll be honest, I wouldn't have watched until there was the big hoopla. And then, like, okay, well, I'll probably get asked about this, so I should probably be informed.
Right. And again, that wasn't my goal. My goal was, here's the story of until that happened. And then it was like, geez,
but I mean, the only thing that, and that I think anyone, and I don't know if you even know if it's a negative, but would take away from it is, or take away from after what listening to interviews is, and I'm just be honest, I mean, she quite well could be a marvelous person, but if she's not doing adult content, which I believe her that she's not, and if she's not a great racer, why would they sponsor her? It's just a question, right? Like, I mean, only fans can answer that one. So I'm just like, and yeah. So I mean, why wouldn't they sponsor, if it doesn't have to be adult content?
But here's the problem. But here's the problem with they misunderstood it. And I was gonna just paraphrase, but I don't want to paraphrase, so I'll quote without quoting this person. There was a note about from this person. Except she's nowhere near the athlete or competing near the level of Olympic athletes, because the post was there are Olympic athletes who have OnlyFans pages
to finance their sport.
She doesn't even do correct form on her page. So why subscribe and promote athletes who are doing this just for clout? We have real athletes out there putting in serious work on and off the floor. Then I posted the video link a day later. Dude, you're such a sellout! Exclamation point. Oh my gosh, I swear I lost brain cells from this conversation. Enjoy your OnlyFans models. You're an old sellout who finally has the attention of a model and you'll take it and run with it. Your page went from something we loved. Your page went from something we love to follow that has now turned into a joke. Absolutely disgusting to promote and market this girl. So that's not misunderstanding. Disgusting is the word she used. Sorry, it's a female. I understand. I'm happy to be mean. I'm happy. She's not an athlete. She's not fit enough or successful enough for you to be putting her in the same category as professional athletes or Olympic athletes, neither of which I did. For you to compare the most low-level model who has attempted a HYROX to Olympic athletes is something you should both be ashamed of. So that was an example of the vitriol, and that's on this far end. But I heard similar tone from a few folks in comments and personally, and it was quite, again, just alarming to me. But something we loved. So like 3 years of hard work gets you nothing. A couple posts about this girl that you don't agree with. We're done with you. You're an old sellout. Like I'm like I reached out to her. I was like, please pay attention to me so I can post you. I think to this person who's probably not listening right now because she gave up already, it would be a lot easier. There's a lot of people who there's a lot of women who want attention out there that I could reach out to that aren't models that I could do that to if I, right? Be a little bit easier. But anyway, I think we can move on.
No, I have a couple stories.
Okay.
Just real quick. So
just also let me say, I trolled this person back and I said, at least I made millions in my sellout off to Aruba in my jet, which is stuff that I used to post publicly all the time with ROM. I would troll response to everybody. I let the account speak for itself now. I don't engage in those kind of comments publicly. I will privately sometimes because I just can't help it. The reason I've been looking at my phone for the last 5 minutes is because I wanted to read another comment I got about this photo because I think this ties into it, and then I'll let you go. And again, I hate to paraphrase, but I'm not going to take the time because I'm tired of scrolling in front of you guys. But this photo right here, describe what we're looking at, Cheryl.
Oh, it's when you were doing the post about getting us ready for Phoenix, which we need to talk about. And you have one of the slides is that you have to have a clear bag for a faster check-in because it's a stadium race. And like what you usually do, because you don't take yourself terribly seriously and you just like to have fun and give us something to look at, you had an AI generated graphic to put that on there to just get our attention, and it got our attention. And I think people were upset that you didn't get a photo shoot set up for someone to carry a clear bag just to sort of give us the information.
Is she too attractive? Is she too muscular? What is the problem?
I think she actually looks like most HYROX athletes I talk to. So
I mean, that's kind of what I'm asking though, is I got a comment about that, which again was like, how dare you? It's so irresponsible. Like, do they have a problem with AI? Do they have a problem? Like old AI, like when AI first came out, we used to joke, like every girl was like a 38 double D. Like that's what, and by the way, Grok will still give you that relatively quickly if you ask for it. But I got to say, AI crushed this. All I did was Google clear bag. It gave me this. I said to Grok, because it's really good at drawing and chat's not so great. I said, give me a HYROX athlete with a clear bag. And this is what I got. First time out, really good. But again, I just feel like this was the question that made Cheryl ask, are we peak HYROX? If every single post makes somebody mad, then maybe we are at peak HYROX, where this is now the world we live in.
Yeah, I think, maybe people are stressed from the holidays or whatever, easily triggered. I don't know, because look, you always do crazy stuff and we forgive you and it's not a big deal and so forth. That being said, I have two thoughts about the OnlyFans just before we leave. And 2 Anaheims ago, so not last December, but the December before, I am sitting waiting to do my relay on a Friday night, and the men's pro wave was finishing up. Hunter was in it, Grayson Kilgore was in it. Like there were a lot of, really great racers that weekend. And one of the people doing the wall balls was this guy that I have never seen before, but I'm sitting next to a famous hybrid athlete. I will not say who it is, she says to me, do you know where that guy is from. And I say, no, I don't know where he's from. And she said, he has a very popular OnlyFans page. And she proceeded to describe some, and she says, I could bring up some photos. I said, I don't want to see the photo. Because I can't unsee it once I said, I don't want to see the photos, but she proceeded to describe for me why this fella was so popular on OnlyFans. And then as I was watching him do wall balls, I could not unsee that. The man is gifted, right? So anyway, I'm not so sure why OnlyFans hasn't picked him up as a sponsor. You know what I mean? Like, I think it just shows that HYROX is popular and there are going to be companies who want to, sponsor these athletes. And so she's not the first one who are doing this. And I didn't hear anybody judging that guy. I feel like, and I've told you this before, Matt, I feel like this world that we're in, this hybrid world that we all participate in, we're all just sort of avatars of our regular lives. Like, I still don't know what Dave does for a living. No idea. Right. And you guys don't know what I do when I'm not doing, like, we never talk about anything except for just fitness and sports. And so the fact that people have these other lives.
Here's a breaking news for everybody. Dave doesn't actually like me. I don't know if people know that. Like,
I think we all know that, actually.
Okay, so it's not breaking news.
It's okay. I don't like anybody.
Yeah, like, he's just grumpy Dave, right? So,
well, I saw this on ESPN. They're like, these two guys don't go out to dinner, but they sit with each other every Saturday. I'm like, yeah, that tracks. Like, Dave doesn't even like me, but we do the show every week because it's fun.
It just is what it is, right? I just think we all need to give ourselves the grace that we're all just here because we love the sport and we're all very different. And to respect that is probably going to be the healthy way going forward. I will also say this. I do some remote coaching. One of the first clients I had to help her get ready for a HYROX is a woman who, like many women here in Las Vegas, made her money early in her life by working at the strip clubs here. They make gobs and gobs of money. And they are the most confident women. We're not talking the whole sex trafficking thing. We are talking women who are in complete control of their lives, who just make a conscious decision to use that time in their lives to set themselves up for the rest of their lives. And she's independently wealthy. She's got her life. And now she, runs HYROXes for fun, and she'll do other things. She can do whatever she wants. I think that we need to kind of, expect that people have different ways of approaching their lives and just respect the world that they're in, because there's all sorts of ways to do this, all sorts of ways.
As Cheryl says, and I'm now saying it all the time, we're all adults here.
We're all adults here. Let's just our job is to just love each other, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not expecting to live in like kumbaya land, but like I said, not much takes me off guard. Like, one of the things that happens when you do what I do for a living is anytime something is loud, it's, well, you did this for clicks, right? So I'm kind of used to that, right? Like, you did this because, like, but again, as I've said many times, I could just show bad wall ball form. I'd have double the followers, you know what I mean? And look at this, right? So it's like, I don't take most of it, but for whatever reason, this one bothered me. I think now that I'm talking to you guys, I'm hearing why, because it's this idea of, I don't agree with it, and therefore you're a bad person. Like, again, like, I think the mature response is, this isn't for me, not, I'll never follow you again. And I think if it's one thing I learned from doing this a long time, if it wasn't that, it was going to be something else. You know what I mean? It was a post about Hunter, and they hate Hunter. So you suck Hunter too much. I'm not following, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. So I think that pretty much covers that.
Dave, you say something.
I was going to say, no, I mean, like I said, this is one of those things I just don't give a crap about.
Why is your face so red, Dave?
I think it's lighting.
Where you're not at home. Where are you?
No, I'm at a friend's. We went through this when you were not here.
You were tending to the tables, and we've gone through.
It doesn't have to be a long story.
We table time. Just I'm at a friend's where I stay closer to my work. for the week, and then I head back to the cottage with my
To the cottage.
It's like it's like on Landman. They all stay at those camps, those little work camps. You watch Landman at all, Dave?
No, but I've stayed on work camps for 8 weeks at a time. I know what those are like.
Okay. Cheryl, do you have a team sign up in Anaheim for DECA? Because that's the last
do.
topic.
You don't want to talk about the Phoenix bag policy, just so everybody knows that they better be getting on Amazon.
Well, let me shout out. I got to shout out someone first.
Okay.
Which is weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Juju House reached out to me. I forget your real name, Juju.
Jabari.
Jabari, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Great guy.
Who I've met a couple of times, who used to always chime in the live show, who gave me a heads up about this weeks and weeks ago. He goes, "Hey Matt, you know the stadium has a bog policy." I go, "Yeah, but don't they for all these stadium races? And we never have a problem at Spartan." I go, "Maybe they don't understand HYROX. Like, how are you gonna get 50,000 people to not bring up their HYROX bag?" And he's like, "I called them." He sent them an email. He was way ahead of us, doing some good detective work. And I said, "I'm sure it won't be that way. I thank you for looking into it, but I'm sure." And what do you know? They're like, "Yep, you have a clear bag. You're going to go through much faster." Again, are they going to dig, or are they going to realize like this line's insane? Because again, at a football game, most people don't. Women bring purses, whatever. I don't think they're not used to it. And once they see the line of these fucking things for people that don't read emails and don't follow HFM, they're going to start going through. "Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good." Are they going to go through it with a fine tooth comb? What do you think?
I think they're opening those bags. I think they're searching them. I think that's their job, and I think they're going to do it. And I got on Amazon as soon as I got your post. I got on Amazon, ordered a cheap clear bag for $20, and it got here yesterday. And I think everybody should do the same.
Is it a Hello Kitty bag? I just picture a Hello Kitty bag in a clear bag.
They still have to look through it though. I mean, don't they still got to like hold it up?
No, because I mean, you can see everything, right? So now I'm definitely putting a Hello Kitty on it. But,
nice.
Just for Dave, and I will take a picture. But I think that's the move. I think we may be surprised at the protocols, and I think I get nervous enough about my races. I think I'm just going to want to do everything I can to make sure that things go well. I'm actually really nervous about. I always have this thing. I have this whole thing that I do to get ready for the races, and when I show up, and when I start warming up, and all the things, and when I check my bag. And I'm getting really nervous that this is going to be different, which will be good for me to learn flexibility. But I think there's going to be a lot of stuff out of our control. And I think those contractors that are contracted to be at those security lines don't care at all if the line's long. Their job is to make sure that security is done.
Yes and no, because I agree. The person who works at those, who works the games and whatever they do, they finish in the 5K and concerts, right? It's possible. By the way, do what Cheryl's saying. I'm going to do it too. I'm going to do it.
It's not that a lot of money. You've already spent a ton of money.
I'm not going to pack that way, but once I get to the city, I will then transfer. So everybody go do it. Go on Amazon. Don't even use a special link so I can make money. Just go do it. I was going to say, I could share a code. I could share an Amazon link. Get $2 for every bag people buy. But if, let's say, lines are just ridiculous, and someone whose job it is to be in charge of that walks around with a walkie that's like, what is happening? Right? Let's give it a quick one through. Again, maybe they won't. Maybe they're totally prepared and they don't give a shit. But but yeah, bring a clear bag. That's, I think, the move, because that'll be a separate line and a faster line.
Yes, and there's even a faster line for people with no bags. So I think when I go watch the major, bring nothing. Bring nothing. Just bring nothing. Just breeze right through. Look, they're used to handling tens of thousands of people, and that's not going to be this. Right? Like, I think they're actually used to handling a much greater volume of people going through.
That's a really good point. You're right.
So I think it's probably going to be okay.
I think so.
You're right.
Dave, it's really sad you're not going to be there.
Yeah.
It's the event of the season.
I think so.
I think it'll be pretty cool. I think it'll be a great race.
Do you want to see what color I'm making Matt wear for our doubles?
Nice. Is it fuchsia polka dots?
Look, it's like HFM colors.
Look at that.
I know. I got them on sale.
We better do good.
I think we're going to be very visible. I think that's nice to, be able to have people see us come around for that course where There's the corner that people are whipping around right as you're coming out the out. That's going to be fun.
So by the way, guys, I do have an apologies to make. I'm sorry, guys. I'm never going to say laps again. I'm sorry. It's 2+. So I just want to say 2 laps, and people get really mad and say it's not 2 laps. I did the same thing last time. If it's third time on the in, to me, it's 3 laps. That's just how I think about it. But I'll never write laps again because everybody gets mad on the post. So
Yes.
in on the third. The only
In on the
thing that
third.
matters is that they change it. 1 and 8 sometimes change, and apparently they don't for this one. So.
Right.
I don't know how they don't though, because isn't the it's still the same. It's just over
Still
to
be,
the left.
yeah,
You
a different
still go
location.
in to
still
go
in
to
on the
wall
third.
balls.
But you were running 1,000 meters over the course of what, 2.5 laps, 2 1/3?
Mhm.
Because to me, like 2 laps would be, the second time. So again, that's just how my brain works. But people keep getting mad at me.
The problem is that you go out the out and you almost immediately cross the in arch.
But you have to yell to yourself, "That's 1" when you go by
Yes.
it. That's what I do.
So yeah, so it is in essence a half a K each round. Like there's not much more you're running. It's going to be, it'll be fine. The corners I'm not thrilled about. Like it seems like we're doing like straight up right angles.
Should we say that for next week? Should we say that for Phoenix?
Yeah, let's save it
Okay.
for Phoenix.
Because we can talk about the Elite 15 by then too, because the Elite 15 names will be out.
Yes.
They're not out now, are they?
No. No, I went digging today. I couldn't find it.
All right. All right. Well, great chat, everybody. I can't believe it's been over an hour, but I spent 15 of it messing with tables.
Yeah. So it's been longer for us and not for you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Take care.